وبركاته. أصحاب السعادة، السيدات والسادة، ضيوفنا الكرام، بنيابة عن الأمم المتحدة النموذجية المنعقد في قطر، نرحب بكم جميعا في مؤتمر ثايمن السنوي السادس.
Good afternoon, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, delegates. On behalf of myself and the Hague International Model United Nations, I would like to welcome you all to the 5th Annual THIMUN Qatar Conference. My name is Christopher Nasrawi, and I'm serving as the President of the General Assembly.
My name is Dana El-Shamlan, and I'm serving as Deputy President of the General Assembly.
My name is Ahmed Al-Hajari, and I'm also serving as Deputy President of the General Assembly.
We would like to now welcome to the stage Ms. Adiba Ahmed, THIMUN Qatar's Secretary General.
Welcome to the 5th Annual The Hague International Model United Nations Qatar. This year's theme is peace building and reconciliation. To put it simply, the theme focuses on establishing peaceful ties between nations and the sovereignty of these nations in the international community. With a myriad of issues touching current topics of interest from around the globe, there are many different directions that delegates can focus on, with topics overlapping in issues of sovereignty, humanitarianism, and ethics. Let me begin by stating my first MUN conference. My first conference was 5 years ago at the first THIMUN Qatar conference. To be honest, I was actually an admin that time, but seeing the fast-paced and exciting debate, surprise, surprise, was Environment Commission, I decided that I needed to be a delegate. In the last 4 years, I've been to a lot of conferences and decided to join MUN for honestly, the same reason that many of you have. It looks good on a resume. But you don't need more than one conference to do that. But I stayed, and I liked it. We like to always talk about the intellectual skills that we get from Model United Nations. Research, debate, public speaking. But I don't think there's enough spoken about what I find is more important. When you're surrounded by people from different countries and different backgrounds, especially at conferences like these, you're given the choice to ignore everyone else's position for your own countries, all in the name of realism, or to sit down and listen. When you choose the first path, well, maybe you'll be the most realistic delegate, or maybe you'll even pass your resolution. But for me, I find that these were the most unsatisfying conferences. We were always too stubborn to listen to each other, and nothing was ever done, or no resolutions were passed. But isn't that what we're here for? To make peace and negotiate? It doesn't mean keeling over for any other country, all in the name of stopping wars and conflict. But it means that we need to sometimes just sit and listen to what the other delegates are saying. Putting aside our differences for the sake of negotiation is always the first step to peace. And we should be hoping to emulate this at the conferences we attend. At this conference, you should question your ideals and use what you know to create debate. Challenge existing notions and develop new ones. We also ask that you forge bonds, friendships, and connections through the people you meet, embracing their different cultures and ideologies. The Qatar MUN family, and by extension, the Middle East community, is a tightly knit one. Each MUN conference you attend is an opportunity to branch out to more and more people from different backgrounds. The importance of this can never be overstated. These ties are what allow us to see the world in a different light, showing us perspectives we might never before have considered. The executive team has worked incredibly hard to ensure that every element of the conference is ready. We would like to thank the administration, press, and IT teams who have worked tirelessly for months in preparation in order to make this conference the best that it can be. Without their continued help, none of this would be possible. This year, we have delegations attending from Sri Lanka, Palestine, and Afghanistan. It is through the extended efforts of MUN communities collaborating with organizations in these countries that we have been able to provide this opportunity. As we welcome them, We also welcome delegations from numerous other countries arriving to collaborate and debate on current and relevant issues. No matter your role in the conference, seize the opportunities that are available to you. There's more here than what is contained in the four walls of the committee room. MUN and the values that you learn here are not meant to be forgotten once the conference is over, but to be implemented in your life and your future. It is your choice what to make of this experience. From the executive team, we wish you both success here and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Dina. Final Qatar is honored to have the heads of delegations as the flag bearers for the Parade of Nations. Please let us all welcome ambassadors of this year's delegation as they make their way on stage.
possible in part to the generous support of our corporate sponsor, Qatar Shell, without whom this conference would not be possible. Shell has been a steadfast supporter of the THIMUN Foundation mission. Their support has positively impacted thousands of students, not only in Qatar and the region, but around the world. It is our great honor today to welcome Mr. Mohammed Abu Jabara, Corporate Social Responsibility Manager for Qatar Shell. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Abu Jabara.
Dear delegates of THIMUN Qatar 2016, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, it gives me great pleasure to be here with you today. I'm delighted to see the growing number of young students from Qatar and around the world taking part in Qatar edition of the Hague International Model United Nations. Qatar Shell is very proud to have supported this outstanding program for 12 years since it first came as Qatar Model United Nations program, then became the Hague 5 years ago. THIMUN touched both the human and the social pillar of Qatar National Vision 2030, with which we strongly support through its focus on education, teamwork, and leadership. The key objectives of THIMUN program are well aligned with Qatar Shell's corporate social responsibility strategy, as we are committed to supporting and delivering a sustainable contribution and positive impact on Qatar's society. Our CSR initiatives focus on developing young people in Qatar, such as, for those programs, the Enterprise Challenge Qatar, the Project Management Center of Excellency, Tafawur, the Kura Time, which is a 5-year initiative and sustainable initiative designed in partnership with Qatar Football Association to improve the health and the well-being of Qatar's young generation through football. We are extremely proud that all 3 programs have recently received recognition as some of the best CSR initiatives in Qatar energy and sports sectors. One of them is the Riyadh Award from the Social Development Center. The other one is from Dar Shab CSR Awards and the CSR Awards Qatar. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are helping to develop the next generation of leaders through this educational, through provoking and character building program. And we should be proud of our participation and contribution here today. By gathering young people together from diverse countries and backgrounds under one roof, I'm positive that many of you will walk away with broader understanding of the world politics, the economic considerations, the humanistic issues, and the other important challenges that current leaders face in our dynamic and multi-faced world. This event will provide you with a unique opportunity to gain new skills, enjoy new experiences, make new friends, and reinforce the mission of THIMUN, which is to encourage the practice of tolerance, peaceful cohabitation, and mutual beneficial solution through healthy debate and dialogue. This event is a noble cause and one of we in Qatar Shell are honored to support. Finally, I would like to personally encourage you all to maximize your benefits from participating in this great conference. Interact with your fellow delegates, learn more about each other, and most importantly, inspire and be inspired. This experience will broaden your perspective in the world that we live in and will hopefully help us to build future bridges of understanding and cooperation between diverse nations and cultures. Good luck, and I wish you all the best in your conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abu Jabara. Qatar Shell has sponsored MUN programs in Qatar for the past 12 years. Thanks to the funding provided by Qatar Foundation and Qatar Shell, THIMUN Qatar is able to offer programs and support to students in Qatar and the region. Qatar Shell is committed to investing in the future sustainable development in line with the Qatar National Vision 2030. This commitment can be seen in the long-term investment in Model United Nations and the young people of Qatar. Again, on behalf of not only THIMUN Qatar, but all the assembled students here today, thank you for your continued support. Please accept this as a small token of our appreciation.
Please welcome to the stage, Head of THIMUN Qatar, Ms. Lisa Martin, for her opening address.
Hello everyone, student honors guests, ladies and gentlemen. In the few moments that I have, I wanted to reflect a bit on the THIMUN Qatar community and by extension, this particular conference. THIMUN Qatar is a community of students and teachers who really put collaboration at the heart of their Model United Nations work. This is not the case necessarily in other parts of the world, where Model UN is often highly competitive, high stakes, where delegates vie to be the one who speaks the most or to say outrageous or inflammatory things to get attention in their committees, or who work to destroy others' resolutions so that they'll end up on top. There are many forms of Model United Nations, for those of you that don't know that, but MUN as a competitive blood sport is not what THIMUN Qatar is about. Yes, there will be superstar orators in your committee and delegates who will be fueled by such passion that the room comes to a standstill when they take the floor. And in today's lobbying session, you probably have already seen some of these delegates and have gravitated towards them to be a co-submitter of their resolution. But there's something better, and if I may echo the words that have previously already been stated, something a bit more noble about the THIMUN Qatar community approach to Model UN, and one that I've seen develop over the last couple of years. Last year we had a very special delegation travel to THIMUN Qatar 2015, a delegation of 5 Afghan students who were trained and mentored by students from Qatar and around the world online. And once here, they were supported in their committees to develop the MUN skills needed as a delegate. This team then morphed upon their return to Afghanistan into HILA, Hope for Education and Leadership in Afghanistan, today an NGO, and the only NGO in Afghanistan dedicated to promoting Model United Nations and the THIMUN philosophy, and to share that with other students in Afghanistan. This year, this same delegation brought 5 girls and 4 boys, and they'll be representing the nation of Ireland. This team also assisted, again through online outreach, other new delegations, including one from Eastern Sri Lanka. In a web of collaboration that goes pretty much unnoticed by teachers and other adults, but one that I am very, very privileged to be a part of, students have connected to one another, helping prepare for this conference, answer questions, and provide support and friendship in the journey to THIMUN Qatar. This ethos of collaboration inspired our very own President of the General Assembly from Park House English School here in Doha to reach out to homeschooled students in Qatar. And thanks to his club's efforts, we have our first homeschooled delegation at a THIMUN event. They will be representing Ethiopia. Students at Qatar Academy have also helped to bring the delegation from Eastern Sri Lanka to their first Model United Nations conference, and they will be representing Denmark. And then, with the support of the Seeds of Peace delegation from Palestine, including students from Gaza, they will be representing Morocco. And again, assisted by 2 students from Qatar Academy. Last night, these students met up for the first time, face-to-face, and Afghans and Qataris, Sri Lankans and Palestinians, and lots of other nationalities thrown into met as friends. The THIMUN landscape in Qatar is similarly collaborative and supportive. This conference is run by an executive team made up of numerous schools in this country, and with a student officer and executive team from all over the world. I've visited other countries where MUN conferences are run jealously as the private domain of a particular school. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, I am very proud to say that you will never see this in Qatar. From the long-established Doha colleges MUN to the newer Mesaid and Park House and English Schools Model United Nations Conference, the norm in Qatar is that students help one another. And it is this kind of collaboration we aspire to in education and in our adult lives, and often fall very, very short. These students, however, are an example for us all. In a time of immense challenges and seemingly intractable problems, a political landscape of incredibly ugly, racist, divisive discourse, the skills of patient and quiet diplomacy, of consensus building and collaboration, and respect are the skills needed to promote peace. That road to peace building is one that requires very unglamorous work, but I do believe that it is starting here at THIMUN Qatar for many of our delegates. For you delegates, it is fairly safe to assume that most of you weren't forced into doing MUN, at least I hope not. You've spent money, given up time, and even part of a weekend to come and grapple with these seemingly very, very difficult issues. And this willingness to be here speaks volumes about you as individuals. As you sit in committees, please carry on that wonderful support and generosity of spirit that is so much in evidence within the THIMUN Qatar community. Reach out to the shy delegate, make an effort to meet and befriend someone different than yourself. Remember that the skills and outcomes so needed in the world can be seen here in the smallest actions at THIMUN Qatar 2016. THIMUN Qatar is proud of you, and I personally am proud of you too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Martin. For the past 5 years, THIMUN Qatar and Northwestern University in Qatar have held a film festival to present and showcase the outstanding talent of young artists, both from within Qatar and throughout the world. This year's festival will be held from March 24th till the 26th. We encourage all students, whether you be a delegate or not, to use your talents and tools to help make a difference in the world we live in. Additionally, each year, THIMUN Qatar has hosted a film institute at this conference. To tell us more about this year's film institute, please welcome this year's Film Festival Coordinator, Ms. Maryam Al Khalifa.
Honorable student officers, valued delegates, and esteemed guests. During 2009, the Model United Nations introduced the Film Festival and the Film Institute. And ever since, it has been an ongoing annual event. This year, the THIMUN Qatar and Northwestern University in Qatar will host its 5th annual International Film Festival in Doha from the 24th of March until the 26th of March of 2016. The mission of the Film Festival is to encourage the production of films that inspire, educate, and engage around issues both global and local. THIMUN Qatar Northwestern Film Festival strives to provide support to students by creating the Film Institute, which is led by student officers and instructors with a filmmaking background. The Film Institute enhances your film skills and offers educational opportunities for both filmmakers and film enthusiasts to expand their knowledge of cinematic arts and value the power of film. Earl Nightingale once said, "All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination." The Film Festival sketches a plan, envisions the map towards success, and thrives you towards your best of capabilities. We hope each and every student takes advantage of this opportunity and is willing to join this year's Film Festival. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be watching the 2015 THIMUN Qatar Northwestern Film Festival Best Picture Award winner, Cyberbullying by Barnaby Duffy. Thank you.
Cyberbullying is the
the fastest growing form of bullying today. With so many people using social media on computers and phones, it's easy to victimize someone online. With the spread of the internet all over the world, more young people are exposed to it every day. Children and teenagers need to know how to prevent cyberbullying, as it leads to anxiety, depression, and sometimes even suicide. And to stop it, we need to understand it. This can be challenging because cyberbullying is hidden. First, bullies can be anonymous online, hiding behind false names. As a result, they behave even worse than in the real world, because they can get away with it. The victim may not show they are being bullied either. There are no physical signs, no torn clothes, no scratched faces, no black eyes. And it's personal. Nothing is more you than your Facebook page or your phone. It's like being bullied in your own bedroom. There are 5 kinds of cyberbullying. First is abusive texting or cyberstalking. A bully sends messages to the victim on a phone or social media such as Facebook. Because the bullying is in public, there are no bystanders to see it happen and no upstanders to help, so the victim feels isolated and alone. Flaming is similar to cyberstalking, but done in a public cyberspace, such as a blog or personal webpage. It can be just one person or a group ganging up on the victim. This publicly ridicules the victim. Another form is excluding. Here, one person is excluded from group chats and social events being arranged online. Often they don't even know they are being left out, and the bullying group might not be aware of the impact they have because they can't see the effect of what they're doing. Fourth, outing is when a bully shares someone's private or secret information via social media or posts a compromising photo without the victim's consent. This really becomes a problem if it becomes viral, and the secret or picture is shared over the entire school, making it even more humiliating for the victim. Finally, masquerading is when someone pretends to be somebody else online. Sometimes they hide their true identity to trick the victim. Other times, they hack into someone's social media account and then send messages which damage the victim's reputation. It's this combination of personal attack, humiliation, and shame that drives young victims to despair, depression, and sometimes even suicide. So why do people behave like this? Often, they don't understand the damage they are inflicting. They don't see how the victim is reacting. For others, the best thing is hurting someone without being caught. They like being anonymous. The victim will never know who is bullying them. They also like the power. In real life, they can't say such cruel or hurtful things. Being anonymous, they have free rein to say anything. Best of all, they don't need to confront the pain they cause. Parents often don't know of its consequences. It's something they haven't grown up with and have no experience in. As the internet is outside of school, teachers have no right to intervene. This makes it even harder to catch the bullies. How can we stop it then? Children and teenagers can avoid using the internet whenever they don't have to, and be careful who they trust with personal information. Parents can make sure that their child isn't using technology to bully. This doesn't mean invading their privacy, just checking their social media to see if they are posting anything cool. Most of all, people who are being bullied online must not suffer in silence. They can go to a teacher, a parent, or a friend, or to any one of the hundreds of websites that can offer advice or help. This way, they take control of the situation and stop being victims. And obviously, people must not cyberbully. It can be tempting to feel powerful and to get away with it, but they need to question their actions online and think how hurtful it could be. That one little thought could make the biggest difference. The theme for our conference this year, Peace Building and Reconciliation. enables all delegates to confront a stimulating selection of pressing issues that is relevant to the region we are currently in. Delegates, take hold of the opportunity that you have been given to discuss questions of disarmament, gender inequality, human rights, and religious conflict alongside students who share the same concerns as you do. And better yet, students who hold different viewpoints to you. As the world is facing a period of flux and unrest, this opens up door for an exceptional opportunity for change. By addressing the issues that the world is facing today through civil discussion and compromise, driven by a sense of justice and intelligent debate, we are collectively stepping closer to the United Nations and our conference's ultimate aim of economic development and peace for all.
Our keynote speaker for this year's conference is a truly inspirational man who has been through intense hardship. Mr. Emmanuel Jal is a former child soldier recruited into the Sudan People's Liberation Army who fought in the Second Sudanese Civil War. At 11 years old, he fled the conflict and for years following this, lived in slums in Kenya. During this time, Jal became active in aiding his community, particularly street kids and refugees, and learned of the political and spiritual power of hip-hop. He was inspired to begin making music to spread the message of unity and peace, and has since produced 5 albums, collaborated with Grammy Award-winning artists, and achieved international fame. Emmanuel Jal is the founder of Dua Africa, a charity based in Sudan and Kenya, which aims to provide education to those affected by war and poverty. Jal's efforts to make change in the world through his music and through his activism have been monumental and have won him numerous peace prizes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Emmanuel Jal.
I'm calling out to the whole wide world. Help me scream and shout that we want peace. Big love to Emmanuel Jal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking for some people who's looking for peace. Maybe together we can make the war cease. Send mankind to the moon. We can bridge to the bottom of the sea. That's why it's really kind of backwards me that we cannot end wars and hurt peace. We cannot change the way people act. We cannot change the way people think. So if we sit back, chill out and relax, civilization will soon be extinct. That's why I am. I'm calling on the whole wide world. Come on, people, would you help me? Let's scream and shout, cause we want peace. To say the least, I dedicate this song to the common people, caught in the middle of this common evil. I wish the world was a little bit better. Time to start looking at the man in the middle. Here's the policeman. Feel me good genocide with innocent beacon. Feel more genocide, how it was beacon. Silent in the name cause nobody was speaking. That's why I am. I'm calling on the whole wide world. Come on people, will you help me? Let's scream and shout cause we want peace. To say the least, somebody say after Rwanda. And after Rwanda, not far from Rwanda. We're gonna shout for the poor people living in Darfur. The world gone dead, the world gone blind. The world is just sitting down on your behind. Nobody cared about the poor and needy. Too busy stepping up to the witch and the breed. For every hill there's a villain. I am clear, we're gonna shout 39%. One more time, we got no more time. We gotta figure out a way that we could all combine. Like California wasn't tumbling down. Some of the voices out of cities around. You know what it's what? Time to put a voice to work. We're gonna shut down heaven and earth. That's why I am. I'm calling on the whole wide world. Come on people, will you help me? Let's scream and shout cause we want peace. How you guys doing? Awesome. I'm so excited to be part of this peace conference for reconciliation. But I just want to take you guys what I'm all about, what I'm doing now, because that's the work that I do. But here, I want to take you guys to how all this began. So I'm going to go to 3 steps, 4, or maybe 5. It's my early childhood, what I'm doing now with my life, and how I look at life as art, and the opportunities that have come along my way. So, I was born in the most difficult time. My country was at war in the 80s. And that war took the soul of my village. The first time I witnessed war, I thought the world is ending. I used to hear my mother telling me that one day the world is going to end. And so I thought, this is it, the world has ended. Because I've never heard such loud bombs that would shake the ground and so many people dying and people running in different directions. That war reached the call of my family. All my aunties died during the war, including my mom, all my uncles except 2. Then, by the age of 7, my father gave me out that I'm going to go to school in Ethiopia, where we had to walk hundreds and hundreds of miles. It was a difficult journey. Arriving in Ethiopia, that's where I got trained, where I became a child soldier. And when I was trained, it wasn't an easy train. Some kid died in the train. But what kept me finish my training is something I would like to share with you guys. Is my desire at that time was to kill as many Muslims and Arabs as possible. Because I thought that was what was destroying my home. I had no idea what was the war about. But I could just remember the look of the people who destroyed my home and that image and how they pray. And that's what I thought, these are the people. And so that made me finish the training. But things have become different. You know, so this is me when I just finished training. This is pictures that were discovered in the archive. And somebody presented it to me later on. So, but we planned an escape. So, from becoming child soldiers, and that escape was the lowest point I've ever been. Apart from being in a battlefield and see people die, I've never been in a situation where I was tempted to eat my comrade. You know, cannibalism started in that escape journey when we ran out of food. We were applying the basic soldier skill. So my friend was dying, and I told him I'm going to eat him tomorrow. And all he did, he looked at me. But luckily, I survived that part. So, in the end of the journey, I ended up meeting a British aid worker called Emma McKean. She rescued 150 child soldiers, and one of them happened to be me. She gave me the opportunity to be able to go to school, and that, going to school, sometimes I look at it, you don't get to know the potential of any child until you give them the opportunities. So she gave me a chance to go to school. And in school, that's where I was able to discover the truth of what was killing us. And in that, I was able to forgive and understand Arabs were not the one who was killing us. Neither was it Muslims that was killing us. I came to understand all human beings are the same. I came to understand we all have the same needs. When the population increases, the resources decrease, and when the elders or the people running the system run out of ideas that can make use of their system, they begin to create ideologies, and those ideologies, they extend them to people of same faith or same color as them. And that's when evil will begin to take over. So this is what I do now with my life. I talk about peace. And so, Education has helped me to be able to discover the truth, and then I was able to choose, should I continue to hate or should I forgive and pursue this new life of living? Because I thought we're the only one that were suffering. And so to me, how I look at it is peace is justice, equality, and freedom for all. Peace is when my belly is full. Peace is opportunities. Peace is conflict management, like what you guys are going to represent different countries. Probably you're going to come here with different ideas, and maybe people are going to borrow from you, or maybe you guys are going to use them in the future. So peace is conflict management. When conflicts are managed in a mature manner, that the violence is prevented, that is peace. And so that's how I look at it. So this is the cool things I do now with my life. But just to back the point of what peace is, countries where there's less to eat, those countries, people are easily manipulated and they are at war with each other if they're eating 1 meal a day. And you get countries where there's so much to eat, they have everything. But those countries, if there are areas where there's less opportunities, those areas will have high crime, prostitution, and so many things will happen at that area. And so, depending on how clever the government or the people are in that country, they can come with better systems to manage and just prevent violence from happening. So this is what I do. I travel around the world where I share my experiences for social emotional learning in colleges, universities, conferences. So this is the cool thing I do. It's fun doing music. So I go to refugee camps. Here I was in a refugee camp performing to those kids. I was once in time in a refugee camp. Some of them were in tears, emotional to see me doing what I was doing. And so the other things I've done now with my life, apart from just being a victim, when I was given the opportunity, I managed to use that opportunity. So I set up a charity called Goa Africa. But I want to share this part, why I should. So one time I decided, I thought I was famous enough that I would raise enough money to help build school back at home. And so I decided to eat 1 meal a day. It took me 662 days to convince people to start putting funding. I became so skinny that the wind had no mercy on me like the models in New York. You go like this. And so finally we raised the money, but I went to the kids and I told them, hey, I'm eating 1 meal a day. So some of the kids came to, what do you mean? We eat 1 meal a day anyway. Then I told them, where I come from, I chose to eat 1 meal a day. And in this place, people die of fatness. And they say, what do you mean people die of fatness? Do you mean there is so much to eat that they grow fat and die? I said, yes. Then one kid told me that's the coolest death ever. And so, to me, that's how I got my respect, because in my village, like to grow fat, it's a legacy, you know? If you can actually grow big, the bigger you are, we even have fattening competition. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube, Google South Sudan fattening competition. And you'll find they take men in an area, they make them grow fat, and whoever grows the fattest win a lot of cows. So, it's true story. Maybe you may join contests back home, win everything. Alright, so, this is the charities I've shaped myself. Goa Africa, Africa Yoga Project, they do good stuff in Africa. And then you have my staff that work in the refugee camp to help enhance the art of children. So I share myself to do good things with different people. Recently I did a movie with a superstar. Her name is Reese Witherspoon. It's called The Good Life. Check it out. So, just passing things so fast, as you could see. So this is me, Nelly Furtado. So there's a lot of good people I met along the way, but just to cut the long story short is, I came from the bottom like a lobster. I'm now rolling on the top like a rock star. So I'm just about to end. So what I want to pass to you guys is, I want to leave 2 things or 3 things with you. You already know about peace, but I want to say, and if you repeat this word, life is art. So that's the way I look at it. It's very precious, and I like the fact that it's limited, and what makes it limited is what makes it exciting. Why I say life is art for you guys is art, which is A-R-T, and A stands for action. You understand what action means. If something is wrong, if you do something about it, you're active, you know? And the way I look at it, people say, what is activism? An activist is any person who bring facts of situation of things that are happening like genocide or violence and present them to the public and say this is what is going wrong and it is wrong. And then if they do it for a long time, or if they have a burning desire to create change, if you have a burning desire to create change, you're an activist. You're an activist. Yeah, that's the right word, activist. And so, I would probably say all of you guys who came here are activists. Do you believe it? You are. So life is art. So A for action. If you're failing in class, do something about it. Then the next word, which is R, stands for read. Listening, hearing, understanding your environment. When you do that, you get to know. And those who know will always exploit those who don't know. Is that not the truth? We are valued here as what you know. Imagine if you just came up with something today of how you can take a chicken and convert it into gold. And you are in this country, what is going to happen to you? You'll become an asset to whichever country you go to, because all the chickens, they just bring them to you and make them into gold. Is that not what education is all about? You go to school, you learn something, or you know something, and it becomes gold. So, that's how I say life is art. So, the other T stands for trying, which means just using the normal scientific rule. Whatever you know, just practice it. Repeat it so many times until your brain muscles take it. And it becomes a routine that you do every day. So, can we repeat what are the 3 things? 1, R, T, pardon? Try. You say try, train. Train means exercise. But try is good. Okay, good. Try is good. Okay, let's use try too. So I will leave you guys with that. But I assume everybody in this room is a good person. Yeah? You're all good. Yeah? I want to leave you guys 2 secrets. And then I'll finish. These 2 secrets will transform your life. 1, a secret that money run after you. Do you want to know that secret? That you go home and you say, please take me. Sarah, I love you, please take me. You know? Or Abdullah, take me, please. There's a secret. If you want to know a good guy and a guy that I wouldn't say is bad, but maybe there's a better name to put it. If you tell a good guy money, they'll look down. They don't want to hear because we've been taught money is the root of all evil. But if you meet a bad guy and take money, you say, well, how can I get it? They look straight into your eye. So, good guys, you need to learn. If somebody mentions money, smile and look into their eyes. You know, because we know in your heart you want to do good. At the moment, somebody said there's racism. We cannot change the world with emptiness. We'll run out of resilience. So, every person in this room, when you leave, finish your education, work hard, let money run after you. so that we can solve the problems. We're fighting invisible forces nowadays, and these are called corporations. They have more power than governments. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, if we have more good people with money in their pockets, let's say we want to build 500 schools in Afghanistan, we can do it in one eye, like this. But we're a bunch of broke people out there trying to make change. You get what I mean? So we need to get a lot of good guys working hard, infiltrate the system so we can make the world. Okay, we got Shell has done a cool thing to make us be. Is that not cool? That's cool. That's cool. So maybe one of you guys one day is going to be a CEO of a big company. So now you can cut the budget 50% and say, look, this year we're giving $5 billion cost. Then they invent, okay, all the list of that. We don't want to make you angry. So I want to leave that the secret for money to run after you is solving problems. If you can't solve any problem, the truth is the world doesn't see any value in you. Do you agree? Yes. Solving problem. The other one I want to leave with you guys is constant joy. Whether you're poor or you have money, to have that constant joy for the rest of your life. Joy, you cannot buy it. You could buy happiness 5 minutes, you get excited and jump, but you cannot buy joy. Do you agree with me? And joy only comes when serving the greater cause that is bigger than you, the great good, which is bigger than us. You know, we're on this planet, mosquitoes live here. They have the right to be here. The fish have the right. The trees have the right. We're not the only one here. You know, every human being, every child has the right to go to school and eat. But now when you come beyond and serve that cause, like what you guys are doing today, if you go home and do it as a routine and become you, that in itself is called a purpose. Do you understand? A purpose is when you wake up and serve a cause bigger than you. Even if there's nothing in it, it still keeps you happy. Because it's an endless giving, selfless giving. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Selfless giving. For example, if you go to Christianity, there's something called tithe. They give 10% of their money. You go to Islam, it's normal. They even fast for days. That praying for the poor, for God to help them, and then giving away some of their money. You go to the Buddhists, they have the same thing. You go to the Hindu, they have the same thing. So we're giving species. When you go home today, if your mom gives you $100, or your dad, take 10%, put it aside. Think of a cause to give it to. And you find something in your heart, something really warm. That thing is the Mother Earth telling you thank you. And you can never buy that. It only comes when you give. So I'm going to leave that with you now, so time is running. But I'll show you what problem I'm solving now. So from a child soldier, I don't want to be put as that. So I became sick when I was doing all the good stuff. And all of you guys, as you go to try to make the world a better place, eat well. Because if you don't eat well, you may end up getting sick. All good people forget themselves serving the world. Sometimes they don't eat properly. I had high blood pressure and I was going to have diabetes, so I used to eat so bad. But I changed it and I created myself a superfood called Jaguar, where I put it in water, drink it, and I'm on the go. It's a simple diet. It's a poor man diet in Kenya, in South Sudan, in West Africa. Just 2 ingredients. Gives me so many benefits for my body. And this is sorghum and moringa. And sorghum is a grain that has 240,000 antioxidants for every 100 grams you eat. I researched online, and I came to learn that you feed cows and become fat and healthy. But when human beings eat it, it does the opposite. No wonder why we're skinny in South Sudan. And we want to grow fat, and we don't. So now I know the secret. I'll tell them don't eat sorghum so they can win the contest. and then bring this to those here was that travel so you can win the other contest here. So, seven is a last substance that prevent obesity. And then there's the other one called moringa, which is part of it, the ingredient. It's called the tree of life, 46 anti-inflammatories, over 400 healing properties, and like 72 essential nutrients. So that's it. So this is the problem. It gives you 140% iron, 45% vitamin C. And so this is the next business I'm pursuing. Why am I showing this to you guys? When I discovered this, the Canadian government funded a college to work with me to say, this refugee guy has got a good idea. So they gave money to the college. Now they're giving me more money to make this happen. Because people who eat it, they feel something. So when you go home, maybe you'll discover something. If you can come with a formula of how you can turn chicken into gold, this man here will quit his job and will make you something big. So I'm going to leave this here for now. And I'm going to leave this spoken word for you guys to think about. And this is how it goes. My dreams are like torment. My every moment. Voices in my brain of friends that were slain. Friends like Noir who died on my side of starvation. In the barren jungle and the desert plain. Next was I, where Jesus heard my cry, as I was tempted to eat the rotten flesh of my comrade. He gave me comfort. We used to raid villages, stealing chickens, goats, and sheep, anything we could eat. I knew it was rude, but we needed food, and therefore I was forced to sin to make a living. Forced to sin to make a living. Sometimes you gotta lose to win. Never give up, never give in. Left home at the age of 7. 1 year later, I lived with an AK-47. By my side, slept with one eye open wide. One duck, played dead and high. I've seen my people die like flies. But I've never seen a dead enemy, at least one that I've killed. But still as I wonder, I won't go under. Guns barking like lightning and thunder. As a child so young and tender, words I can't forget, I still remember. As a sergeant command, raising his hand, no retreat, no surrender. Yiddish, I carry the burn of the drum. War child, child without a mom, still fighting in the circle. Yet as I wait this new war, I'm not alone in this run. Nor sit I stop, as I reach for the top. I'm fully dedicated like a patriotic cop. I'm on a fight, day and night. Sometimes I'm doing wrong in order to make things right. It's like I'm living a dream. First time I'm feeling like a human being. The children of Darfur, your empty bellies under telling us you that I'm fighting for. Left home, don't even know the day I'll ever return. My country's war-torn. Music I used to hear was bombs and fire of guns. So many people died that I don't even cry no more. Ask God, question, what am I here for? Why are my people poor? Why and why? When the rest of the children were learning how to read and write, I was learning how to fight. It's snails, vultures, rats, snakes, and anything that had life, I was ready to eat. I know it's a shame, but who's to be blamed? Peace. For your moving words. Mr. Manuel Jolly, you've been a great inspiration to us all. Your work as a global peace soldier and international hip-hop artist has changed the lives of thousands of children in Africa. Your aim to protect the childhood of others through music has come to great success. And because of your continued actions that demonstrate that wealth and affluence are not the priorities that we should focus on, but rather that we should look after our neighbors who have far less than ourselves. It's important to learn from your leadership, dedication, and compassion, which is necessary to making the world a more equitable place. On behalf of THIMUN Qatar and the students assembled here today, thank you again for your continued inspiration. And please accept this as a small token of appreciation.
The ASD choir will now be performing Kunina Wahed by Kyle Peterson, born and raised in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Kyle began banging away on the piano at age 5 and hasn't stopped since. Kunina Wahed was commissioned for the Muscat Festival of Choirs by Artistic Director Melanie Brink. Together, Kyle and Melanie integrated the Arabic phrase Kunina Wahed, which translates to "We are all one." With 137 countries represented at the THIMUN Qatar conference this year, Kunina Wahed serves as an embodiment of a message of unity. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for the American School of Doha Choral Group. Thank you very much, Mr. C, Mr. Kalpa, and Ms. McGlynn. On behalf of THIMUN Qatar, we would again like to thank you for your years of support to the THIMUN Qatar Conference. Every year, you bring a level of star quality to our event, and this year has been no different. On behalf of the THIMUN Qatar office, please accept this small token of our appreciation and gratitude for ASE's years of continued excellence and support.
It is now time for student ambassador speeches. As in past years, ambassadors submitted a speech prior to the conference. Upon review, 6 of these speeches were selected to be read during this opening ceremony. We would like to call up the student ambassadors to the stage. May the ambassadors of Bosnia-Herzegovina, Japan, Mauritius, Oman, Russian Federation, and Sweden please approach the stage. Delegates of Bosnia-Herzegovina, please proceed with your opening speech.
Honourable President, distinguished delegates and esteemed guests. Many would consider Bosnia, an ex-communist, ex-war-torn nation, to be one of violence, xenophobia and cynicism. There is in fact a word to describe this in Bosnian, Dayton, a synonym for neglect and despair. The Bosnian word Dayton comes from a town in Ohio where the peace accord of 1995 put an end to the most devastating conflict in Europe since the end of World War II. The most notable of the atrocities committed is the Srebrenica massacre. The United Nations declared the town to be a safe area for civilians, protected by several hundred Dutch peacekeepers. 2 years later, Bosnian Serbians overran the town on July the 11th, 1995. That evening, the Dutch commander drank a toast with the Bosnian Serb general at the latter's insistence as they discussed the fate of the civilians. "I'm a piano player," implored the Dutch officer in response to the general's threats. "Don't shoot the piano player." The pianist survived, but many of the refugees did not. The Bosnian Serbs later methodically massacred 8,000 Bosnian Muslim women, men and boys. It was the first and only case of genocide on the European continent since World War II. To say we should learn from our mistakes would be a profound betrayal to the victims of not only Srebrenica, but the whole civil war. We can, however, vow never to repeat them again. We must keep that in mind as we discuss Libya, Yemen, and the peace-building options in Syria. We must not forget Bosnia and Herzegovina. Finally, we must not go about this conference with Dayton, instead with optimism, sincerity, and a desire to secure a better future for those who look to us as the Bosnian people looked to the United Nations 21 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Japan, please proceed with your opening speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I would like to warmly welcome all of you who are attending this year's THIMUN Qatar Conference. It is our honor and our greatest pleasure to host students, faculty, and the like in this country and in the immaculate QNCC. It is conferences like these where we can put away our phones and tune out from social media, even if it's just for a few hours, and tune into what's happening in our world. As one of the United Nations' earliest members, Japan has been actively involved in numerous UN activities and is the United Nations' second largest financial supporter after the United States. Such strenuous efforts demonstrate firsthand Japan's pacified hopes for a peaceful world order. For over 20 years, Japan has tackled and shown its support for the issue of women empowerment and the rights of females all around the world through contributing to the United Nations Development Fund for Women and helping to endorse strong political will and action based on partnership to realize gender equality. We hear about the Martin Luther Kings and the Mahatma Gandhis and even the Nelson Mandelas in the world, political figures whose actions sometimes mask our own. The reality of it is that these big names that we read about, watch documentaries about, celebrate, they were once small names, maybe even insignificant. As delegates and global citizens of this world, it is our right, as well as our duty, to be the Martin Luther Kings when the world doesn't bring us one on its own. It is also our duty not to abuse this right and to use it for the greater good. Attending a United Nations conference may not be the major key to becoming a renowned world leader or resolving every world issue, big or small, but it brings the world that little step closer. We are debating about real issues, real crises, real people whose lives we can potentially change. I stand before you, before this immense crowd of eyes, delegates of today, leaders of this era. I stand before you and think that everything, even the small things, even 2,000 people out of 7.3 billion can make a difference. I stand before you outside of this building, a high school senior, but for the next 3 days as the ambassador of Japan. So whether you've joined us here today because you're passionate about debating global issues, or you've just come here to take 3 days off, learn something from this, as you should from every experience. And I only hope that what you take away is something you can carry forever, something valuable, something big. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Mauritius, please proceed with your opening speech.
Good evening, Honorable Chair and esteemed delegates. It is a privilege to be representing the Republic of Mauritius at THIMUN, Qatar 2016 as an ambassador. Our delegation has strives to achieve both a rewarding conference and several international goals in the forthcoming days through diplomacy and international collaboration. Mauritius, a nation with diverse culture and valued heritage, acknowledges the importance of establishing a sustainable future in every country. This is crucial for a prosperous outlook of the health and welfare of the citizens, as well as the preserved culture of the country itself. Hence, Mauritius has long since followed a policy of active involvement in international relations without aligning itself in any particular bloc, and recognizes the great importance of the United Nations in the advocacy of peace, international security, and global development. Given our vibrant and thriving environmentalism, Mauritius's prime concerns lie in the protection of the endangered species in the nation, as their natural habitats are under threat due to widespread global issues like deforestation. We hope to strive and achieve a resolution to resolve this issue through the help of the UN bodies, in particular the Environmental Commission. In conclusion, the delegation of Mauritius hopes this conference will be coherent and has faith that every nation shall contribute and come up with practical and fruitful solutions. Thank you.
Delegate. Delegate of Oman, please proceed with your opening speech.
Secretary General, Honorable Chairs, fellow delegates, and most esteemed guests. The world around us has evolved greatly since the birth of the United Nations. Now, with the advent of our increasingly interconnected and globalized world, the time has come for us to fortify our efforts in rebuilding and upholding the mantles of truth, justice, and forgiveness. As a nation committed to the maintenance and growth of peace and prosperity, Oman has worked tirelessly to maintain friendly, diplomatic relations with all the nations that encompass both the Arabian Peninsula and the world. Even when under pressure from certain nations to cut ties with our allies, Oman has always persisted in the face of adversity as a bastion of diplomacy and cordiality for all. For this is not what all nations should strive for. Now more than ever, with the global threats of climate change, atrocious terrorist organizations, and other ongoing adversities, we must all promote policies and governance that will bring our nations closer together. We must strive to create a world where we can forgive each other for the wrongdoings of the past. A world where we can forgive each other and we can prevent new atrocities from occurring. A world where we are all active defenders of a peaceful global community. Oman is fully committed to pursuing this noble goal and invites all our fellow nations to work together in debate and walk hand in hand as allies and friends towards a more united, harmonious, and compassionate world. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Russian Federation, please proceed with your opening speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a true honor for the delegate of the Russian Federation to be standing before you at such a prestigious conference. It is a welcoming sight to see the youth of today solve the problems of the past to create a better future for us all. The theme of this year's conference is peace building and reconciliation. This delegate knows that there is not a better time nor more of a need for us to focus on this theme in order to maintain the peace and stability that we all wish to achieve. The Russian Federation is one of the most active members of the international arena. Our policies in Syria, for instance, reflect this. Our goals to keep Syria together as a unitary state have thus been successful. However, our support on the Assad government has not hindered the aid that we have given those that have been affected by the civil war. The Russian Federation has delivered 22 tons of aid in the region around the eastern Syrian city of Deir ez-Zor alone. The Russian Federation's vital roles in the civil wars of Ukraine and Chechnya have prevented casualties all over their respective countries. Aside from our foreign policies, we've also been working on our internal policies. The Russian Federation has also been working close with the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees, the UNHCR, to focus on quality assurance measures and strengthening the national asylum system, including improving access to the system at the borders. The Russian Federation hopes that the international community can work towards a consensus to solve the problems that face our individual countries. Using this year's theme as the guidelines of our success and standing strong, we, as the United Nations, will be able to overcome any barriers that stand in our way. This delegate wishes beneficial debate to all of you in the room. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate. Delegate of Sweden, please proceed with your opening speech.
Honorable President, distinguished delegates, Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the architects of the United Nations, wrote, "One philosophy is best expressed not in words, but in choices." Today, I stand before you, honored to represent Sweden, a nation with a strong voice in the world, deep roots in the past, and big hopes for the future. A nation that values idealism, but acts with pragmatism. Sweden has a great credibility in international landscape thanks to its strong engagement in foreign policy on issues such as common security, human rights, democracy, aid and development. This is the reason of Sweden's candidacy for a seat in the Security Council, in order to increase our engagement in multilateral cooperation, which is one of the cornerstones of our foreign policy. We never hesitate to extend a hand for peace, security, progress, and for safeguard the rights. This year, we are celebrating the 71st anniversary of the United Nations, but the world is uncertain than before. The President of the UN is needed more than ever. Global crises and challenges